Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your May 2023 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's Celtic crossword as always, and also pulled the 4 agreements, wisdom, oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. I'm actually going to start the reading off my roll those astrology decks we have in front of us to get an idea where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright. So we have the moon, and at the time of recording this, we're just about to have that new moon eclipse in Aries at the very last degree of Aries, right by Taurus, and then we'll have a full moon in Scorpio. Oh, and for what it's worth, Aries is actually your third house of communication. Then when we get to around the second week of May, we're going to have that full moon in Scorpio, which is your 10th house of career and social status. That's also an eclipse, and then we'll have a new moon in Taurus around the third week of May. So, and Taurus for you guys is your 4th house of home and family. So, could definitely be some significance around those lunar cycles for you this month. All right, we have 2. So, second house for you is Pisces, and we have Saturn there, of course, and Neptune's been there for a really long time. And second house in general points to possessions and self worth. And we have Sagittarius. So Sagittarius for you guys is 11th house of hopes and dreams, friendships and groups. And astrologically speaking, not really anything going on there, but there could be some focus on that area for your life anyway. All right, and moving on to the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Lovers, which is the major arcana card for Gemini, and then challenging that we have the 9 of Pentacles. So seeing these two here, this could just be come up in a very literal sense, as far as maybe there's someone, an actual love relationship coming into your life, and the challenge there is you're possibly really comfortable being single right now, right? So maybe you're just more focused on your finances at this time, and this type of connection coming along in the background is more of a distraction to you than anything. That's kind of how I'm seeing these two energies playing out. See what else comes up with this. And for some of you, this could also be maybe a creative idea that might come to you around how to increase your finances too. Because if we see the angelic figure there, looks like they're in the background. So sometimes the thought that comes to my mind, seeing that as things being worked out behind the scenes, right? So maybe if you've been feeling stuck for a while around finances, right? Like you feel like you're so close to a goal, but not quite there yet. The key could be maybe to get out in nature a little bit, right? Like we see there, and maybe the idea will come out to you then. All right. In the foundation position, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So this is actually Virgo energy here also. So a lot of Virgo energy coming up already. And again, like I said, that could just be indicators that you have a focus on your finances this month. And like I said, for some of you, maybe you already are there. But I feel like for a lot of you, this is more of the goal, right? What you're working toward. Now, I do have to say, especially for those of you who are like I was saying, maybe for some of you, there's this potential for a love connection coming about, but you're more focused on your finances. To me, if you look at the older man there, it looks like he's looking at that couple, right? And we see that it's like he chose the path of focusing more on his career and his finances versus choosing love, right? That's one way we can interpret the artwork there. So maybe that's the path you're on, where you're like, yeah, I'm not really feeling the idea of a love relationship right now. All right, in the past position, we have the 7 of Cups. So maybe that's what it's been, right? Maybe there's just been so much going on within your careers, because this is Scorpio energy here, which is 10th house energy for you. So maybe you just had so many things going on in your career where like, okay, the last thing I need is to try to put extra energy toward a romantic connection on top of all that, right? So maybe you've been trying to work things out there, get everything organized in that area of life, and because of that, you feel like, okay, I don't really have the energy to give to a love connection right now. All right, present position, we have the 5 of Pentacles. So yeah, and for some of you, maybe that's why too, right? Maybe you feel like it's almost out of necessity that you have to work toward this goal. So maybe there is a part of you that would like to give more energy to your love lives, but you're like, well, you know what, it's just not very practical right now. So you feel like you're trying to push yourselves to a certain goal. All right, in the near future position, we have the devil. So, um, similar theme as far as the artwork goes between this and the Lover's card, but obviously a very different vibe to it overall, right? So we see the feminine and masculine energy again. This time they're chained, though, and we see a much darker background. So could just be saying that, yeah, this urge of yours becomes more of an obsessive type of desire, right? Where like, okay, I have to reach this goal, and it could become almost a singular type of focus for you. And this makes me think of the fact that you guys just had Pluto barely get into your sign. It's about to retrograde right at the start of May. So that could be what's at play there too, right? Where you're just feeling like, okay, maybe you have almost an obsessive desire around advancing your goals. All right. In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the King of Cups. So yeah, Scorpio energy here, which again, like I said, could definitely be an indicator that's just where your focus is right now. Your career, right? Your career, your social status, everything else could wait for the time being, right? And I did mention when we were talking about the moon coming up in your dice that we're going to have that full moon eclipse in Scorpio, and it's actually going to be the last one for, at least 9.5 years, I believe. So just one of those things where it's like, okay, you could really be in the midst of wrapping something up. But again, like I said, you feel like anything outside of that would be a distraction. So you're just really focused on that, and that's it. All right, in the environment position, we have the Two of Wands. So yeah, maybe that is the key there, right? Where maybe you know that you're close to the finish line and you might have a plan, like, okay, once I'm really done with this, yes, I will be moving on to the new thing. I'll be taking on new adventures, right? But you, again, like I said, it feels like you just don't want any distractions to prolong the process, which makes sense. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Star. So I'm going to assume this is a hope for most of you. This is actually the major arcana card for your sign. And to me, this is saying just hoping that you're on the right path, right? Like, okay, I've come so far, I've worked so hard, right? Just hoping that you've learned what you needed to learn, and where you're headed is going to get you the goal that you're hoping for. Overall, what I see there, like I said, it looks like there might be a bit of a bump in the road that's actually fueling you to push yourself a little harder, but it looks like there's some indicators that you could make some progress this month. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Hermit. So yeah, Hermit energy is Virgo energy, and to me, this could just be saying that you might actually take a little time away to decide, right? Like, okay, is this actually the right thing for me right now, right? Like, is there a way that I can maybe find a little more room for other areas of my life right now, right? So it could just be one of those things where you might go into a bit more of an introspective mode. This could definitely be around work for you guys in some way because Virgo, of course, is the natural ruler of the sixth house. And you guys have had Mars there for a while now. So for you guys, your sixth house is Cancer. Mars has been transiting through there. So that could have been part of what's fueling that fire for you guys, too, to put in energy toward working toward a goal. And it's eventually going to move into Leo. So, which is your seventh house of relationships. So it's like once that transit starts, maybe you feel like, okay, maybe I could fit a little bit more room in for that area of life now. But you're just really trying to focus on your work for the time being. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Wands. So at the very least, this does show that you can make some progress and get some accolades this month. So at least the work that you are doing won't be a complete waste, right? So it shows that you will at least see some success from it. And like I said, it looks like part of you probably does want to move on to the next thing, but you're just so focused. You're like, no, I've come too far to give up now. I'm going to get that goal. Then we'll see what happens from there. All right. Moving on to your Four Agreements card, we have be impeccable with your word. And it says cultivate faith. All right, it says to have great faith is to have great power, because your intent, your will is undivided. When your word isn't dissipated by doubt, the power of your word becomes even stronger. Well, for what it's worth, right? As I said, it doesn't look like you're necessarily having a doubt there. It looks like it's almost an obsessive desire. For some of you, might feel like it's out of necessity. So hopefully that message resonated with you. All right, and moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have Round and Round. There's the artwork, and the number is 25. We'll see what this has to say. Okay, essential meanings says the spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated, cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. The Oracle's message. The appearance of this card is a reminder that although it may appear that you've gone backward, the truth is that you're standing at a higher level, looking down into your circumstances. You'll learn something, do something better, and break a cycle set up in the past. You actually have a bird's eye view of your initial footprints and can access the wisdom and lessons learned. So definitely an interesting message there, because that makes me think of the Five of Pentacles, right? If we see the 9 and it's 10 there, then we see the 5 in the present. That could be pointing to the energy that it's talking about, where it's saying maybe you feel like you've taken a step backwards, but it could just be saying that it might appear that way, but you've actually learned a lot from your experiences, and you will be able to propel yourself forward soon. All right, the relationship message says, are you wondering, how did I get here again? Does something feel familiar right now in your dynamics with others? Maybe a little too familiar? Don't be surprised that you found yourself repeating an old story with the same sort of person, who may not look similar, but who attracted you because of your easy acquaintance with his or her qualities. Your relationship is a mix of what is good and what is potentially challenging. You have been drawn to this person through the perfection of Spirit's plan for your evolution. You may have circled back to an accustomed spot, a familiar place, but that's fine, as you get to do things again, only differently this time, for you learned something of great value since the last time around. How will you choose to behave now that you're aware? Remain curious and stay out of the blame game. So, definitely an interesting message there. Like I said, for some of you, it seems like maybe there is that potential around there for a romantic connection, but like I said, it seems like you're so focused elsewhere right now that you wouldn't really be giving it much energy, at least not yet. The prosperity message says, if you are in a scenario that appears to be an echo of something that's already happened in the past in your work life, it is because you're being invited to see what you couldn't see before. This is a perfect time for you to look at the deeper motives you have and your attraction to the opportunities and people who have entered your life to be a part of your journey to prosperity. Who helps you navigate? Who sabotages you? Who supports you? What are the familiar signs and your responses to them when you find yourself in a repeat of a pattern of the past? It's a good time to get a coach or a mentor who can help you see what you can on your own. Repeat what works, not what doesn't. Then you will free yourself from the old cycles and cease going round and round. So definitely an interesting message there, especially when it talked about a mentor, because I was seeing this more as air energy, but maybe that actually does point to someone else that you might actually look to for some guidance around the situation. So hopefully that resonated. All right, and lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. This is your mudra here. It's the Ashvaratna mudra, and the keyword for it is perspective. All right, there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But as far as the benefits, it says balances earth, water, and fire elements, benefiting digestion, circulation, and overall vitality, cuts through ego clinging and narrow-mindedness, gives new perspective on your choices and life's path. So if that sounds like a mudra that can be beneficial for you guys, we'll put the name in the description video. As always, we'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.